Alright folks, welcome to the absolute chaos that is Formula One. If you're new here, you've probably watched a race, seen some insanely fast cars zoom by, and then spent the next hour frantically Googling what the heck is a blue flag? Or is DRS something you can eat? Don't sweat it, you're not the only one. And guess
what?
That's exactly why I'm here, to help you figure out this high-speed circus. Hold on tight, because today we're diving into every single F1 team out there. We're talking about the heavy hitters, the underdogs, the ones who occasionally forget to put the wheels on their cars, and everything in between.
Hey! Steering wheel, somebody tell him to give it to me.
We'll ditch the PR fluff, ignore the shiny sponsorships, and get to the real dirt on these teams. Get ready to see what makes them tick, or sputter. Let's kick things off with Silver Tears, aka Mercedes. For what felt like an entire geological epoch, these guys were the undisputed rulers of F1.
This has been from Lewis Hamilton this weekend.
Yeah, boy! That's how you do it, man.
Think of them as that one friend who always wins at Monopoly, even when you've secretly been pocketing $500 bills. They dominated from 2014 to 2021 with their hybrid power unit, scooping up constructors and drivers' championships like they were going out of fashion. Their secret sauce? A killer engine, a ridiculously talented engineering team, and a driver named Lewis Hamilton, who could probably win a race in a shopping cart if you gave him enough downforce. For years, every other team just saw their taillights. It was like watching a greyhound race a tortoise repeatedly. But then F1 decided to shake things up with new regulations in 2022, and suddenly Mercedes looked a bit perplexed. They built a car that had more porpoising than a confused dolphin. And for the first time in a long time, they weren't leading every single session. It was a humbling experience, like watching a superhero suddenly realise they left their cape at home. Now they're on the comeback trail, and you can practically hear the collective groan of other teams whenever they show a flash of their old pace.
Perez and Leclerc going for it. Hamilton says thank you very much. Another thing opens up for him.
They're still a force, just a slightly less invincible one. Think of them as the reigning champion who's had a few off seasons but is still in incredible shape. Next up, we have energy junkies, or Red Bull Racing. If Mercedes is the calm, collected professor, Red Bull is the caffeinated, slightly unhinged mad scientist. Their philosophy is simple: go fast, break things, and maybe win a few world titles along the way. They're basically a marketing company with a racing addiction, and it's worked brilliantly. They've had two major eras of dominance. First, with Sebastian Vettel from 2010 to 2013, where they were so good it was almost boring, unless you were a Red Bull fan. Then it was glorious. Then, after a brief hiatus where Mercedes took over, they came back with a vengeance with Max Verstappen. Max is an absolute beast, a pure, unadulterated racing machine who drives with the aggression of a badger trapped in a hot tub. He's got that "I don't care, I'm going to win" attitude, and it's mesmerising to watch.
United, they have shared a brilliant championship battle, but the championship can only be won by one.
Their technical guru, Adrian Newey, is a living legend. The man designs cars that look like they've been sculpted by the wind gods themselves. He's practically a wizard with a CAD program. Red Bull cars are known for their incredible aerodynamic efficiency, making them stick to the track like superglue. They're the team that's constantly pushing the boundaries, often with a cheeky grin. If they were a person, they'd be that friend who convinces you to do something slightly illegal but incredibly fun. Crash a Ferrari? Just saying the name makes you think of speed, passion, and, well, a whole lot of Italian hand gestures. Ferrari is F1. It's the history, the legacy, the drama. They've been around since 1950. And their fans? They're some of the most passionate and maybe a little too dramatic. Ferrari's like the opera singer who nails the high notes, but occasionally sets their hair on fire while trying. For a long time, Ferrari was the team, with Michael Schumacher racking up championships left and right. But these days, being a Ferrari fan is like being on an emotional roller coaster. They have the cars, they have the drivers, and then they have the strategy. Ferrari's race calls? Legendary. For all the wrong reasons. It's like watching a chess grandmaster play against themselves and somehow still mess it up. 1 minute, you're cheering, and the next, you're wondering why your tyres just mysteriously disappeared. But when Ferrari gets it right, oh, it's glorious. The Tifosi, that's their fan base if you didn't know, goes wild. And it's one of the best moments in motorsport. Ferrari might be the most frustrating team to support, but when they win, it's pure magic. Moving on to Papaya Punch or McLaren. This team has a history that's rich in tradition, with legends like Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost behind the wheel. They've been around forever, battling Ferrari, dominating the sport. Then they hit a rough patch, a really rough patch. It was like watching an eagle forget how to fly and just flop around awkwardly. But guess what? McLaren is making a comeback. They've found their rhythm. With a great engine, solid drivers like Lando Norris, and a fan base that's growing by the day. They're like a phoenix rising from the ashes, except it's a papaya orange phoenix. It's awesome to see them clawing their way back to the top. Next we have Greenish, aka Aston Martin, or as they've been known over the years, Force India, Racing Point, and now Aston Martin. Talk about an identity crisis, but with some serious money thrown their way, thanks Lawrence Stroll, they've turned into a genuine contender. In 2023, Aston Martin came out of nowhere to challenge for podiums, with Fernando Alonso leading the charge. It's like watching someone ditch their old flip phone and suddenly start texting in 4K. They're a work in progress, but the potential is there. Keep an eye on the green machines because they're hungry. Frenchy fiasco, aka Alpine. They used to be Renault, then became Alpine. They're that sophisticated French cousin who shows up to the family gathering looking fabulous, but then leaves their car keys in the fridge. They've had their moments, like winning championships in 2005 and 2006, but lately, not so much. It's like watching a well-dressed car crash. Their driver lineup is always interesting, with Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon fighting on track more than they should. And now they've got Pierre Gasly, another hot-headed Frenchman who brings the drama. Alpine is a midfield team, and while they have great days, they don't seem to have that extra push to regularly challenge the top dogs. Solid, but always just shy of greatness. And now we come to Bull Lab, formerly known as Toro Rosso, then AlphaTauri. This team is basically a talent factory, turning out the next big stars of F1. It's like an internship program, but with way more speed and less coffee fetching. They've launched the careers of legends like Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel. Their performance can be all over the place, depending on how much Red Bull shares their tech with them. But if you see a hotshot rookie in one of these cars, it's worth paying attention. They might just be the next big thing. And here's Swiss cheese, or Sauber. Historically, they've been the underdog team trying to maximise what they have, but rarely stealing the spotlight. Their car tends to be a bit quirky. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's like trying to race a brick. They're a midfield team and they're usually fighting for the lower points positions. They're the reliable workhorse of F1. Always there, always trying but rarely stealing the headlines. They're the dependable minivan of the F1 grid. American drama, or Haas. The American team that's like the chaotic, unpredictable neighbour who throws epic parties, but you're never sure if you'll get a noise complaint or a free beer. They're known for being a bit wild, with drama often following them around like a stray dog. Sometimes they surprise everyone with incredible pace, especially in qualifying. Other times they're struggling at the back. They've got two veteran drivers in Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hülkenberg, both known for their aggressive driving styles. If you want entertainment, keep an eye on Haas. They might not always be winning, but they're rarely boring. Finally, we've got Dreamers, aka Williams. These guys were once the kings of F1. They've got a history filled with iconic drivers like Alain Prost and Nelson Piquet, and their records were so good that it's honestly heartbreaking to see them now fighting at the back of the grid. They've had a tough time finding the money and resources to stay competitive, but they're not giving up. Williams is on a journey to climb back to the front with a new motivated team principal and a squad of drivers who still believe in their potential. They might not be winning anytime soon, but they're the underdog everyone secretly roots for. They're the F1 equivalent of the scrappy underdog movie. And there you have it, a whirlwind tour of every single F1 team. From the dominant forces to the plucky underdogs, each team brings its own unique flavour to the greatest motorsport spectacle on Earth. F1 isn't just about the fastest car or the best driver. It's about the incredible engineering, the strategic gambles, the moments of pure brilliance, and the occasional hilarious blunders.
Sainz and Perez make a collision at high speed.
It's a soap opera at 200 miles an hour, and once you get it, you're hooked. So, what's your favourite F1 team and why? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to dive even deeper into the madness of F1, hit that subscribe button for more explainers that won't make your brain hurt.